Behold, the end of all things and the renewal beyond, a vision of the Dagor Dagorath, the last battle foretold in whispers of the Ainu Lindal, the song of creation. It is a tale enshrouded in the mists of myth, preserved in fragments among the lore masters of Middle-earth, and yet its gravity and implications resonate throughout the vast history of Arda. Let us delve into the heart of this final reckoning, where prophecy collides with destiny and the threads of Tolkien's legendarium are drawn to their ultimate resolution. The Dagor Dagorath is not merely a climactic battle, but the fulfillment of a cosmic cycle. It begins with the breaking of the world's long silence, a silence imposed by the diminished power of the Valar, the fading of the elves, and the reign of men. In the shadowed north, Morgoth, the original Dark Lord, breaks free from the doors of night, a prison forged by Eorendil's light and Manwë's decree. His return signifies more than vengeance. It is the manifestation of the original discord he wove into the Ainu Lindal. Morgoth's very presence corrupts and warps Ardamard, which he once infused with his malevolence, renewing the brokenness that has long plagued Middle-earth. But what of his army? Though Sauron, his lieutenant, was vanquished in the Third Age, many of Morgoth's creations endure. Dragons slumber in hidden places. Balrogs lurk in forgotten caverns. And orcs, their twisted lives shaped by Morgoth's malice, remain scattered across the lands. Morgoth's host is vast, yet his true strength lies not in numbers, but in the dread he inspires. Morgoth is more than a tyrant. He is the antithesis of Eru, Ilúvatar's harmony, the incarnation of rebellion against the divine will. His essence corrupts all that it touches, and his return would plunge Middle-earth into an abyss of despair. Yet, against this darkness rises the hope of renewal, championed by the greatest heroes of all ages. It is said that Turin Turambar, slayer of Glaurung and cursed by Morgoth's malice, will rise from death to confront the Dark Lord. This prophecy is steeped in bitter irony. Turin, who was once Morgoth's plaything, shall deliver the final stroke against him. The significance here is profound. Turin's triumph is not merely an act of vengeance, but a reclamation of his own tragic narrative, a defiance of the doom Morgoth imposed upon him. It speaks to the theme of eucatastrophe, Tolkien's concept of ultimate good emerging from deep sorrow. Consider also Erendil, the mariner who bore a Silmaril to Valinor and secured the aid of the Valar in the War of Wrath. He too is prophesied to descend from the heavens, his Silmaril blazing as a rallying cry for the forces of light. The Silmarils themselves, scattered across sea, sky, and fire, are destined to play a crucial role. They represent both the pinnacle of elvish craftsmanship and the devastating consequences of hubris. In the Dagor Dagorath, they may at last fulfill their purpose, bringing healing to Ardamard. With the stage set, one must ask, what lies beyond the battle itself? The Dagorath is not only the culmination of mortal and immortal struggles, but the very fulfillment of Eru Ilúvatar's designs. It is here that the narrative threads of time, purpose, and consequence are drawn together. In this apocalyptic confrontation, the role of the Valar is a subject of particular intrigue. Though they withdrew from the direct affairs of Middle-earth after the Akalabeth and the destruction of Númenor, their presence in the final battle is unavoidable. They were, after all, the first stewards of Eru's creation, and their power, tempered with sorrow for past failures, will be pivotal. Manwë, the greatest of the Valar, is said to have insight into Ilúvatar's will beyond the comprehension of any other being in Arda. His long silence since the Elder Days suggests he has been waiting for the precise moment when intervention becomes necessary. This underscores a tension within the lore. The apparent inactivity of the Valar might not be neglect, but preparation. Their return during the Dagor Dagorath, led by Manwë, will be a reaffirmation of their purpose, to shepherd and protect Arda in the name of Eru. The mighty Tulkas, once the bane of Melkor in his first rebellion, will surely laugh as he enters battle, his mirth a harbinger of Morgoth's downfall. Yet the most poignant contributions will come from Middle-earth's own people, those who have suffered the brunt of Morgoth's malice. The reappearance of characters such as Fëanor or Beren and Luthien, while speculative, would not be without precedent in Tolkien's mythos. Fëanor, whose fiery spirit and tragic pride drove much of the First Age, may find redemption at last by using his prodigious skill in service of the final struggle. Imagine the creator of the Silmarils, whose hubris once fractured the elves, crafting a weapon of light to unmake Morgoth's corporeal form. Such an act would complete his arc, transforming him from a figure of division to one of unity. In this reckoning, the children of Ilúvatar, elves and men, stand not merely as soldiers, but as testaments to the resilience of free will. The elves, fading though they are, will bring the wisdom of millennia to bear against the chaos. Their songs, their art, and their unyielding connection to the light of Valinor will serve as both a weapon and a reminder of what is at stake. For men, the Dagorath will be the moment when they rise fully to their destined role as the inheritors of Arda. Even as the shadow of Morgoth looms, their deeds in this battle will mark the final transition from an age of guardianship to one of dominion. And let us not forget the enigmatic role of the hobbits. Though unmentioned in the prophecy of Dagorath, their actions in the Third Age illustrate their profound capacity for courage and hope. Who is to say that some remnant of their kind might not rise again, offering light in the unlikeliest of places? As the forces gather for the battle, the question of how Morgoth's essence can truly be defeated remains. The Ainur are immortal. Morgoth's spirit, though weakened, is a fragment of the divine. How can such a being be unmade? To understand the final defeat of Morgoth, we must delve into the metaphysics of Tolkien's universe. Morgoth is not merely a physical being, but a spiritual force, a fragment of the very song of creation. When he descended into Arda, he poured much of his native power into the world itself, tainting its very fabric. Thus, his corruption persists in every shadow, every storm, and every flaw of the world. To destroy him utterly, then, is to address this corruption at its root. This is where the Silmarils come into play. These jewels, crafted by Fëanor, contain the light of the two trees of Valinor, a purity untainted by Morgoth's malice. As foretold, at the culmination of the Dagor Dagorath, the Silmarils will be recovered from their scattered places. Maedhros' jewel, lost in the fiery chasms of the earth, Maglor's, sunk beneath the waves, and Elrondil's, a light in the heavens. Each will be brought together in a ritual of unmaking, the lost light of the two trees, once reunited, is prophesied to burn away the marring of Arda and cleanse Morgoth's influence from the very substance of the world. But who will wield this power? The prophecy names Turin Turambar as the slayer of Morgoth, wielding his black blade, Gurthang. This is significant not only because Turin is a tragic figure, redeemed, but because his very nature speaks to Tolkien's conception of mortality. Unlike the elves, whose fate is bound to the circles of the world, men possess a freedom of will and destiny that even the Valar cannot fully comprehend. Turin's role as Morgoth's executioner suggests that it is through mortal agency, not divine intervention, that the ultimate victory will be won. It is the final affirmation of the theme that runs throughout Tolkien's works. The small and the seemingly insignificant often wield the greatest power. Yet, there is an irony here. Morgoth's defeat, while climactic, is not an end unto itself. The Dagor Dagorath signifies more than the overthrow of evil. It is the fulfillment of the music of the Ainur. The Ainur Lindel foretold that all discord, even that introduced by Morgoth, would ultimately contribute to the beauty of the whole. In this light, Morgoth's rebellion and his eventual destruction are not anomalies, but essential parts of Eru's design. The final battle is not simply a restoration of the world as it was, but a transformation into what it was always meant to become. And so, what lies beyond? The remaking of Arda, often referred to as Arda Healed, is a profound and enigmatic promise. The world will be renewed, unmarred by Morgoth's corruption, and the children of Ilúvatar will inherit a creation free of its original flaws. Yet, this raises tantalizing questions. What form will the new world take? Will the elves, who are bound to the fate of Arda, continue in this renewed existence? Or will their long years of sorrow grant them a final rest in the embrace of Eru Ilúvatar? This vision of renewal also prompts reflection on the roles of evil and free will in Tolkien's mythos. Was Morgoth's fall necessary for the children of Ilúvatar to reach their full potential? Morgoth's rebellion and its consequences suggest that evil, while destructive, may paradoxically serve a higher purpose within Eru's grand design. Tolkien often portrayed evil as a force that, while seeking to mar, inadvertently reveals the strengths and virtues of the good. Just as Frodo's endurance of the ring's burden led to its destruction, so too does Morgoth's malevolence ultimately become a crucible for the children of Ilúvatar to forge courage, wisdom, and hope. The Dagor Dagorath, therefore, is not only a battle of swords and sorcery, but a metaphysical reckoning, a rebalancing of the forces that have shaped the history of Middle-earth. It is worth examining the significance of Eru Ilúvatar's direct involvement, or lack thereof, in this final battle. Eru, the creator of all, is a silent presence throughout the legendarium, intervening only at pivotal moments, such as the sinking of Númenor. In the Dagor Dagorath, his ultimate will is revealed not through direct action, but through the harmony of his creation. This is a profound statement on the nature of free will and divine providence. Eru's children, acting of their own accord, bring about the resolution that he always intended. Even Morgoth's rebellion, the great disruption of the music, is woven into the final harmony. The concept of eucatastrophe, Tolkien's term for an unexpected turn of joy, reaches its zenith in the Dagor Dagorath. Túrin's victory over Morgoth is a profound eucatastrophe, reversing the dark tragedies of his life. For the elves, who have borne the sorrow of their immortality and the fading of their kind, the restoration of Arda will be a bitter-sweet eucatastrophe, a redemption that acknowledges their sacrifices. For men, it is the ultimate vindication of their destiny as the heirs of Middle-earth. But what of Arda Healed? Tolkien left the specifics tantalizingly vague, offering a vision more evocative than explicit. The implication is that the remade world will be both a return to its primal beauty and a progression to something greater. In this new world, the separation between the seen and the unseen, between the physical and spiritual realms, may no longer exist. The Valar, the Maiar, and the children of Ilúvatar could dwell together in harmony, with no shadow to divide them. The light of the two trees, restored from the Silmarils, will illuminate this renewed creation, a testament to the endurance of beauty and the triumph of hope. in this remade Arda, Morgoth will be utterly absent. Not merely defeated, but unmade. His discord no longer capable of influencing the music. This raises a tantalizing theological question. What becomes of Morgoth's essence? Is he annihilated completely? Or does Eru, in his infinite mercy, find a way to redeem even the darkest of his creations? Tolkien did not answer this directly, but the question lingers, a mystery befitting the mythic tone of his work. Ultimately, the Dagor Dagorath is more than an ending. It is the resolution of Tolkien's mythological exploration of good, evil, and destiny. It reminds us that all things, even suffering and loss, contribute to a greater story. As readers, we are left not with despair at the final battle's terrible cost, but with the hope of renewal, a reflection of the light that shines brightest in the deepest darkness. Thus concludes the tale of the Dagor Dagorath, a vision of the end and the beginning, a story that resonates far beyond the confines of Middle-earth. For in this tale, as in all great myths, we see a reflection of our own struggles and triumphs, a reminder that even in the face of great shadow, the light endures.